it's good to go. Yeah. I'm gonna get you the link, Leopard. It should be ready now. Like I can see the stream now. It's good. Okay. Man, is there a way to pop out the chat? It's kind of annoying. Sorry guys, bear with me. I'm trying to make sure like the YouTube stream is right and everything too. They should be able to hear me though. You need an echo. Really? Oh, sorry, because I had it open. Is that why? Can you still hear echo now? I think I closed it. Mute your YouTube stream. Yeah, I closed it completely, so it shouldn't be a problem now. I think. Let me know though, because I have no way to tell. How do I fix that? I muted the desktop audio. Oh, okay. I think I see what it is. Okay, did that fix it, Leopard? That should have fixed it. Okay, now it's good. Okay, good, 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 good. All right, now we can get started. Okay. Well, let's start from the daily. We basically had a really nice pump this morning. You know, we swept not only previous day high and Monday's high, but all-time highs. And then we basically only just swept it. And that was pretty much it. You know, it looks like a sweep and nasty, nasty nosedive back down. And on stuff like the 15-minute and stuff like that, we basically reversed almost the entire move. What I'm kind of looking for now is something more so along the lines of a 50% retrace of this down move. I think that's very realistic. I think we may even be able to catch the move up to it. But I think that's where we're going to go for starters. And then, of course, we'll have to pay attention to the daily close to see if it can actually close above all-time highs or at least previous day high, because it looks like we have a fair chance of doing that too. So we got 50% of this down move right here at 23,015. So we'll see if we can try to catch along up to it. Oh, so is you. Okay, Leopard. Okay. Well, but all right, let's see what we got here. We're in a pretty big 5-minute gap. We take one quick look at ES. Oh, wow. It left equal highs at Monday's high. Yeah, those are equal high. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, wow, it swept a buy tick. That actually matters. Okay, so ES swept Monday's high, but of course didn't reach for previous day high. It doesn't really tell me too much, but I still think they could realistically both try to go back for 50. Another down move. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. So ES 50% of that down move would be at 6,295.75. For us to get in the long though, actually this doesn't look too bad. This little OB here with the FEG doesn't look too bad. Maybe we get like a promotion block off it, catch a nice long. Oh yeah, but if you're new here, if you're new watching me, heads up, I do speak a lot, like I do say a lot of things, but I'm gonna make it extremely obvious when I'm actually ready to enter the trade. There will be no doubt. I'm gonna straight up tell you, I'm in this on a funded, I'm in this on an eval, I'm in this on whatever. I think you should take this too. I'm gonna even tell you when to move your stop to break even, trail it, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be extremely obvious. Unless you hear me actually say, yes, I'm about to enter this, or yes, I'm in this trade, then I'm just simply thinking out loud. So be very aware of that. I'll even mention stuff that I'll say that would be good enough for an eval, but I'm just not going to take it. And it's up to you at that point. And I'll make that very clear as well. So if you're new here, please just listen very carefully to what it is I'm actually trying to say, because I do make it pretty obvious when I'm actually ready to enter. But for now, I don't see anything good just yet. Might have to wait a while. Oh, is that an SMT? I think we have an SMT. Yeah, we do. Still want to see us go to 50 though. I don't really care about an SMT to be honest. Oh yeah, we do have the FOMC, but it's a fake FOMC though. It's not the real one. So I've been told. Might have to wait a while because it looks like the candles are pretty small here. 50% down. Yo, what's up? Sorry from the bottom. Yeah, it was a great AM session. A great AM session. Either you caught longs to all-time highs, or maybe you caught the shorts after. But it was a pretty nice move. And to be completely honest, I'm not really expecting too much of movement for PM. Like it's kind of hard to. We'll just have to see what we do at 50 because we could just blast straight through it. If we do blast straight through it, I'm going to be thinking that it's just because the daily wants to get back up to all-time highs for the close. But we'll see. We'll see. But how did everybody else do this morning? I saw Leopard caught a banger with the short. Basically sniped it from the bearish breaker that was up there. Took this one right here for the short. Caught pretty much the whole thing. Cut along during pre-market. Okay. Need only 500 more. Nice. Hopefully we can get it here. Because I still think we need to come back down because it doesn't look like we're really energetic about this move up right now. But yeah, today was definitely a great day to pass some evals, I'll tell you that. Because we basically just went straight up. Trying to work on this 250K that got rebuilt today. I only need like 10K more. So if you're just joining, we're simply just waiting. We're waiting for price to either give us a nice reaction inside this 30-second OB, the FVG, or we're just going to drop straight through it and sweep out some lows, and maybe we'll catch another long off previous day high or something like that. But I still do want to long this. I'll only be bearish if we dip beneath previous day high. Let me make that very clear. I'll only be fully bearish if we dropped past previous day high and stayed beneath it, because then we just try to reach for these lows down here. As long as we're above previous day high, there's a solid chance we try to go 50% of the down move. Till then, we gotta wait. So we just tapped the FEG, haven't quite reached the OB yet. On the 1 minute, remember, there actually is nothing here on the 1 minute except for the OB, so we might have to come all the way down. But in my opinion, you wouldn't want to see us even break the 30-second here. Not to mention the 5 minute looks pretty bad right now, too. So just to be very clear, I'm not entered yet. I have not entered anything. I'm simply waiting for a reaction because you don't know if this is going to hold or not. Just waiting for a reaction off of it. Looks like we're not getting a reaction. Tap the 1 minute OB. 30-second, basically inverse. We'll give it one more candle though, because it could be a fake. If we pop back up and get into OB, this is going to be the bounce I'm looking for. If not, then we're just going to start sweeping out some lows, and we'll see if previous day high decides to hold. Yeah, not looking too good here. So we basically got a real inverse now. Chances are we're probably just going to hit these lows. I don't recommend shorting, but in my opinion, actually, no, never mind. I just don't recommend shorting. I wouldn't even short this. It'd be better to long. When you say stay beneath, do you mean the 15-minute close? Not exactly. I just mean like if the 1 minute decided to close through previous day high and we just never could come back up above it. Like maybe we got two bearish candles and then we just kept going down. That of course means that we're trying to reach for stuff down here. So, and you can see kind of how we close through it like once or twice, but we just pop right back up. That means it's still trying to hold. So it looks like that 1 minute OB is trying to come into play. We'll have to see if this is going to actually give me the setup that I need to see. We're at the 5 minute rejection block. Okay, there we go. There's our stop run. Let's see if we actually close through it or not. Because at this exact moment in time, we would have an SMT. ES did not even sweep out the internal low. So we have currently a bullish SMT. We could still bounce here. So if we were really bullish, what's going to happen is we're going to try to get a 1 minute OB. It's going to be a pretty energetic close above this 146 candle. If we get that, that should be the long setup, especially now with the SMT that we just made. And yes, I see the equal lows. I just don't care. As long as we hold previous day high, it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, and if you're new here, these red lines are equal lows, by the way. That's what these are. Still just patiently waiting here. We haven't got exactly the OB yet. And if we can't get the OB, then they're probably not going to get the bounce. This inverse wouldn't be bad at all either, because this inverse would just lead to us getting the OB. And then you have a nice little ITH target for like a TP1 or break even. Still haven't got the 1 minute OB just yet, but we did get the inverse. This would not be a bad attempt at a long to get up here. It should work. It's up to you if you want to try it though. I would have a stop at the SMT low. Something like a 12-point stop for this to be 7-point break even. Then you try to target 22, 21 points. Me personally though, I'm still waiting. Just so you know, I'm still waiting. Just a few more minutes here. But I don't think this would be too bad of a trade or a try at all. Okay, so this should give us the 1 minute OB now. Should be trying to get it. Maybe not. I'm not really a fan of that candle close. I feel like we should have hit that high there. Might be trying to come back for this. This might be the play. It's got a 30-second rejection block here that we could come back to. I'm thinking that this might be the snipe if we can come back to it. If not, we'll just settle for the 1 minute OB once we get it. And every single trade that you take down here, your stop should be on the SMT low, in my opinion. So, but there's your break even target for the ones who tried the inverse. We're about to get the 1 minute OB. Now keep in mind, we are back at 50%. We're a little bit past it, actually. This is a pretty nice close. Probably not coming back for that anymore, but so now is where I'd be looking for the 1 minute OB as the entry. Since it looks like we're probably not going to come back for that rejection block. But if you took the inverse, it looks like you're about to catch a banger because we probably won't even come back for the OB with a candle like that. ES looks like it's about to hit 50. It's getting pretty close. But in my opinion, the best entry you could probably get for right now would be the OB. The 1 minute OB with like something like a 15-point stop to try to make 18 about a 1R, and then They get like 30 to our for 50% of the down move. Does 30-second leg matter or 5-minute if we get it? That was a while ago. If you're talking about this bullish one options, then yes, because that's what we're being controlled by right now. I appreciate you guys who are watching on YouTube. Oh, the bearish one, no. I still think we may get a stop run to this OB. And yes, I know we have an SMT now, like a bearish one, but I don't think that we want to go down here. Like I said, as long as previous day high holds, I'm going to stay bullish. And it's clear that it's trying to hold, so. Wow, nasty stop run, jeez, okay. Well, the break even definitely would have saved. That's for sure, my goodness. That sucks. That's news, yeah. I'm still just watching to see if we close through previous day high. I still haven't entered yet, though, by the way, guys. Yo, what's up, Maz? It depends on how we close here. That's going to determine if I'm going to enter. Because we still have an SMT. ES didn't even sweep out that low. Still a decent chance that we pop right back up here. And we haven't closed to the rejection block on the 30-second either. Looks like we might, though. Might close their previous day high here. Starting to drop down with some speed. Still just watching previous day high. But we definitely are past that OB now. I'm just watching to see if we actually end up closing through previous day high. Okay, we did just close through previous day high with one candle. We'll give it one more candle here to see if we actually, stay beneath it. But this means that we might be flipping bearish in this SMT. The bearish one may be in control. We might just try to reach down for this swing low down here at 960. I'll give it just one more candle here to see if this one closes also beneath previous day high. Okay, it did. So we are probably going to try to reach down for this low at 960. Most likely, unless we just pop up right now and get an OB. That's pretty much the only way we won't. But this is looking pretty bearish now. So we're approaching the low. Haven't hit it yet. Oh, wow, let's tap back at the previous day high. This is pretty interesting PA we have here. Realistically, it's probably just a retrace back to this gap. I'm sorry, that's the wrong thing. But if not, then we're just in sloppy PA. That's what that means. If we just pop up right back here and inverse this back up, it's just sloppy PA. And at that point, I probably wouldn't recommend to take anything else. Yep, no problem, no problem for the free stream. Looks like we're trying to pop right back up here. Wow. We still have an SMT too, that's the thing. And I really want to long this. It's just that the setup's not there anymore unless you're trying the inverse, and the inverse is kind of risky because you're kind of longing back in premium of the range, which isn't really the smartest thing to do. And also, another reason why I'm saying this is kind of sloppy is because look at the 5 minute here. This is definitely not ideal price action. Whenever you see all these wicks on the 5 minute, definitely not ideal. Yeah, the new log. Just watching to see what we do inside this bearish gap here. At the moment, I'm really not excited to even look for a trade right now until we start cleaning up again. Because in my opinion, that setup that we had here with the little inverse there probably should have delivered at least to there. The SMT kind of ruined things, but still gotta wait. News in 2 minutes. It'd be something if news just kind of like flew straight up to 50 there. Yeah, start from the bottom. Yes, that's why my goal is to get back to 50 this down move, because just like you said, we expand up, we come back down, basically like a Judas swing. What's left to do now, since we swept out this low, is to simply rebalance to 50, which is what I still think we're trying to do. It's just that they're not making it easy right now. It's not very easy. And now it looks like we're flat again. There's hardly any volume. All right, so we just inversed the 1 minute gap, and it looks like we're still trying to come back up. Now the problem here is that ES is extremely close to 50%, and it's about to sweep the high again, which means we're going to have another SMT in our hands if NQ can't follow suit here and hit the high. But at this point, I don't really trust anything that I'm seeing here, to be completely honest. So I would probably recommend everyone just to chill out if you're trying to take a trade right now. because chances are we're probably not done chopping yet. But in my opinion, we should probably be done with the chop if we could close above this high. Because there's just no reason to keep playing around if we can actually close above this. It's just that I think ES is kind of messing with things here with the SMT and it being so close. So it's either we close beneath this low and keep going lower, or we close above this high, keep going higher. Everything in the middle is probably a bad trade. Or at the very least, break even. Yeah. Yeah, Julie. FOMC minutes is like a news event, except this is kind of the weaker one. It's not the real one. The real one, we get like a fat candle. It's very, very noticeable once we get the real news. This one's kind of just like the baby version. Think of it like that. Really hope we can actually get some movement here today because this is going to suck if we can't. We're already at 2 o'clock. Let me see where the 4 hour closed. Pretty crazy wick there. 1 hour doesn't tell me anything. 15-minute looks kind of crazy too. I still think we can get to 50 though. Now, if ES hits 50 and they both start dumping afterwards, then we may have to give up 50 for NQ if they both start dumping. But we'll see. Because ES looks like it's about to do it here. Okay, so there's 50 for ES. NQ is still trying to reach up for the high. Remember, I would only be looking for another trade if we actually closed above this to try to catch the last little bit to this 50%. Because it could still be a sweep. 5 minute looks like it's trying to clean up a little bit too here. So just to be very clear, guys, if this is a sweep, we're probably going to keep chopping. If we can close above, we have a chance to actually clean up. So far, we didn't close above it yet. But ES is trying to push above 50 though. It's a pretty decent candle for ES. I'm just waiting for NQ here. Wow, it's kind of looking like a sweep. are kind of slow too, like low volume. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Wow. Well, that's not at all a convincing close there. Pretty low volume on the close. But ES is pushing up, so maybe it just drags NQ right up with it. Let's see if we can hit 50 here. And this is also a pretty big leg too. Might be trying to get to that last 5-minute gap we displaced through 50. Oh, this is actually really good. We should be able to catch a trade now. So we hit 50. If we actually close up here like this, it's going to be really good. Because then we should be able to catch a trade. But unfortunately, there was really just no other entry you could have taken except for the inverse there if you tried it again. Not something I would take though. But we may get something I'm going to take pretty soon if we can actually stay above this. Okay, so far no close above 50%. Now, if we are going to actually react off of 50, it's going to become something called a dealing range play. And all that simply means is when we come back to 50% of a dealing range, we will come back to the bottom of the dealing range because in this case it's a bearish dealing range. You know, we created a down range, we hit 50. The goal would then be to try to get back to the bottom of the dealing range. So if we respect 50 here, that's where we're going to try to end up going, is back down near 22,919. So we'll see. But if we blow straight past this, then I'm going to think that we're just going to try to get up to this last gap up here, the 1027 gap on the 1 minute. Right now, I'm not really convinced that that was a, you know, it's a very strong reaction to 50 there. Also, the 5-minute did not close above this high, barely. It's looking like a sweep. And just remember, guys, if it's a sweep up here, the only liquidity that we truly have is this ITL, so that should also be able to tell us if we are really bearish, if we went down and dropped through that. Looks like we're trying to close above 50 this time. Give it some time though. Waiting for the 5-minute candle here. Yeah, it's everything 50% here, guys. This is like everything 50, pretty much. Looks like we're trying to close above it, and if we are, it just means that we're going to eventually get up to here. this next 5 minute gap above us. It just depends on if the 5 minute can actually get us a close up here in the next 3 minutes. Because if it does, it should be a pretty easy long at that point. So now NQ looks like it's trying to come alive, and ES is the one that's kind of moving slow. Just waiting for this 5 minute candle now. 2 more minutes left. Yep, bullish, Timo. Very bullish. Especially since now we're displacing over the 50%. Means that we're probably going to try to get up to OTE, and OTE would be up here inside that 1027 gap. It just depends on if this 5 minute can actually stay up here. So I'm looking for is a close up here, and then hopefully a pull back into this FEG. It's going to look something like a 1 minute soup on this low, and we should be able to catch along from that. Now, if the 5 minute can't even close up here, then we still are at risk of just dropping down here from where we're at. So keep that in mind as well. It just depends on where the 5 minute closes. See the 15. 14 seconds left for this 5 minutes to close, and it's looking like it's going to close above this high, but just not where I wanted it to close at. But as long as we get a decent reaction from this 5 minute gap, we should be able to catch along, because I do think we're going to retrace back into it. Not to mention 50 of this new up move could also get hit. And 50 of this most recent up move that we have is at 22,994, right on the edge of this 5 minute gap. So we'll see if that can get hit, but I'd rather see us just sweep this and come right back up for a nice long, if it allows us. But just because I'm saying that does not mean you should put a limit order there. I'm going to wait for a reaction, just like the OB. If you put a limit order on that OB, you absolutely got cooked. Better to wait for a reaction. So that's what I'm going to do. Wait for a reaction. Because if we don't stop here, we're just going to probably drop down to 50. And if we don't stop at 50, we're coming straight for this ITL. And if we close to this ITL, we're going to drop all the way back down this low, this one, and probably the rest of them. But it starts up here. So we just closed through that ITL. Chances are we're probably going to try to reach for 50 here. Let me see where it's at for ES. On that same low that NQ left. So ES is kind of close to the internal 50 that it has. I'm still open to a long here if we get an actual OB or something like that, but at this point I'd kind of rather just see 50% because we do have an OB down here too. Yep, I see that too, options. We might be trying to turn around. Maybe not. Never mind, the 30-second doesn't look that great. Man, we are moving pretty slow now. I know some of you are probably thinking, well, Plyo, what about this OB? I do not trust it just yet. If we got a new OB here, though, I would trust it. Oh, 30-second, sorry. A new 30-second OB here would make me trust the longs. But we'd have to get it like from this exact spot. I don't even want to see us sweep below. We just make an OB here and turn around. That's the long. If no OB, then no long. Still no OB, so no long. Might just drop down for 50. But that's why you can't trust every single OB or pattern that you see. Just because we're in a 5-minute and get this doesn't mean it's going to hold. Wait. If he popped up like this, it's going to hold. So if we close back above this, really the inverse itself is a good play too. But this would be the confirmation long. If we can get the close above. Okay, we didn't get the inverse, but we did get the OB on the 30-second. The 1 minute also got a new OB, so now I would trust it a little bit more. All we need is the actual OB tap, which we're probably not going to get. The only thing I don't like about this is how low the volume is. That's probably the only problem, but we did make another SMT here, bullish one. Little internal SMT. We should be going straight back up to the equal highs up there. About to get the inverse here though. Maybe. The 15 minutes holding 50. Ooh, it is. Wow. Maybe I shouldn't have removed it so soon. But I mean, to be honest though, the 5 minute looks good here to go up. And we did just get the inverse. The 5 minute looks like it's trying to make this into a new OB, and we got the SMT there. I mean, the high's right there. Chances are we'll just hit the high, even though it is pretty low volume. But the best long that I see is probably from this little 1 minute OB. If we could come back, it sucks that it didn't give like a clean inverse here. That would have been the play too. Let's see. If we close back below 50, you're leaning bearish. True. All right, we might get what I want to see, a dip back down for this OB. Wow, this volume is still pretty low here. We did just make the 5 minute OB as well, so everything is pointing back to the upside, at least to this high. So if you're in a long right now, I would just move to break even at this high if you're not already break even. But there's no reason for you to have an open trade once we hit this high, because it could be a soup here and we come back down. So just be aware of that. I'm still looking for us to come back down to this before we hit the high. So that's why I wouldn't move to break even just yet. This PA is kind of slow. Okay, looks like we might try to come back down for this inverse with the OB. Tap the inverse. moving a little bit too slow now. Makes me think we're about to get like a spike soon or something. Because this is... We shouldn't be moving this slow up here. It looks like we're trying to make our way back to this OB on the 1 minute. The best spot for the long would be 23,007 with the stop on the SMT low. I'll let you guys know if I'm going to take it, but I'm just going to wait for a little reaction. If we hold a rejection block, then I'll try to enter because we know where it should go, and we know we have an SMT, an internal one, so the low should be protected until we at least get back to that equal high up there. Still just waiting. We haven't hit what I want to see hit just yet. I want to see us tap this rejection block here. Brownie points at VS gives us another SMT too, because it looks like it's trying to resweep that low. Jeez, the market is absolutely dead right now, guys. Nothing you can do about it. Whenever you see the candles this tiny and all these little VIs everywhere, that's how you know it's absolutely flat. Still waiting for us to come down for the rejection block here. So remember, if we see a good reaction off of this, as in a little tap and go, new OB is formed, I'm gonna try long. Still haven't hit it yet. Still just waiting because we haven't hit the rejection block yet. Volume is incredibly low though. As soon as we tap this rejection block, we need to see some volume because this is like crazy. Still just waiting. I guess this means the 15-minute is still holding 50%, huh? Looks like it. Yeah, to be honest, guys, I don't even know if I would take anything in this now because it looks like we're kind of just playing around in this. Still think we're gonna hit this high. It's just I won't be able to catch the entry to get it because these candles are very, very tiny, and I don't like trading when it's this low volume. Me personally. But I would say if we could close above this little tiny internal high, we're probably just gonna hit the equal highs up there. Realistically. It looks like we could try to close above this. If we close above it, we're probably just going to hit that high. No close above it. Wow, this PA is just something else. I swear, like, I never can get good PA when I really do a free stream. It's always like this. It's like we just get the choppiest, slowest PA known to man every single time. To make it up for you guys, though, I'm gonna do a free stream tomorrow. Hopefully, tomorrow gives us some better movement than this, because this is like a bust at this point. This PA is just not it. You passed the eval, doggo? Nice. Okay, here we go. We're about to close above the high and probably hit this. We're so close. Should get hit any second now. Shame we couldn't come to where I wanted to, though, but wow, we're still playing. But for anyone new here, if you're a newer trader or trading is kind of a new thing to you, it's just very important that you stay patient. You wait for price to hit your key level and you take the trade. If it doesn't hit your key level, there's just no trade. It's really just that simple. The second that you actually settle for something lesser than where you actually wanted to enter is when you aren't following the plan. Because imagine if I had just chased price up here as we got that inverse, like say I entered right here on this close. You just take drawdown for nothing, then you're stuck in a trade just praying that it comes back up to here. You shouldn't be stressing about the trade when you're in. It should be it hits your level, you execute, and you go from there. Right now, we're simply at the mercy of the market moving because we just are so flat right now. It doesn't even want to move. Giving out crowns. I have no idea what a crown even is. This is my first YouTube stream, guys. I have no idea what a crown even is, to be completely honest. I see some of you guys have the number one and number two and all that, but I don't know what that means. Oh, it's how much you spam chat. Okay. Yeah, that beats me. When you're king. There you go, Steve. A lot of kings and queens in the chat. There you go. Wow. Yeah, NQ is absolutely playing, guys. We might get a stop run back to the level I wanted. And if we get the bounce, it's still going to be a good long. It's just that I really don't. I, I feel like trading this right now is kind of forcing it just based on how low this volume is. It's not, it has nothing to do with the setup. It has to do with, just being realistic. Just because I get in the trade doesn't mean price is going to clean up magically and go immediately to TP. Now, from this exact spot, it could, but realistically, it probably won't. So you just have to keep that in mind as well. Just because you're in the trade doesn't mean it has to go straight to the target without any pullback or chop or anything like that. If we've been chopping for, you know, 30 minutes straight, chances are, even when you get into the trade, it's probably going to keep chopping. So that's why I'm not really enthusiastic about getting this entry anymore, because I wanted to see it happen on the first move down, not when we get like 5 moves in between. It's kind of annoying. So I am just going to look for a reaction, but I don't think I'm going to actually take the trade. If you guys feel that it's worth it, I mean, it is only probably like a 7 point stop or something like that to make, 18. That's still technically a 3 hour trade. It's not terrible. It's just that you may have to sit in it for a while because of the PA. We are getting closer to 3, and for the ones who don't know, a lot of the times during PM session, we get what's called a 3 p.m. stop run. It basically gives us a little bit of volume once it gets to 3 o'clock. So hopefully we can get some speed going here because this is definitely not it. We're just stuck here on NQ. ES is stuck as well. It's the absolute chop. And once again, if you're a newer trader, I do apologize because I know some of you are probably looking forward to catching something. But this is the reality of trading. 90% of trading is you sitting and watching the charts. 10%, the last 10% is you actually clicking the button. You know, 90% of what we do is all mental, and the physical part is just clicking the button. That's it. Shouldn't be, itching to take a trade and all that kind of stuff. Of course, it sucks that it doesn't want to give us the entries, but like I said, you wait for it to hit a key level and you execute then. Never settle. Yep, I'm keeping an eye on that too, BAMTech. Ever since you said that, and the longer that we stall here and we still can't even close above it, makes me think we might get the drop. Especially with this low volume, it's almost screaming like we need a stop run here. I completely agree. And a stop run would probably send us back to this SMT low. A pop and drop? I'd hope so. I really hope so, because no way we get, like a point away from those equal highs and to come right back down, hit this, turn around again, hit, hopefully to come back for the equal highs like it should have done. But we'll see. We will see. All I can tell you is if you accept the 7 point stop here, you have a chance to make a 3 hour trade just for the equal highs. Doesn't look like much, but 18 points isn't too bad. If you ever stop on the SMT low, something like a 2.7R or 3 hour trade. And once again, for the ones who can't see it themselves, the rejection block is at 23,007.75. That should be your entry. Once again, I'm not taking it, but it is, it has potential. I'll say that. You're a queen now, Steve. He said, "Did you assume my gender?" Yeah, I thought that was you, Jules. I just wasn't sure. Sorry if anyone's confused on Discord. I'm talking to the YouTube chat. This is just some great PA that we're having right now. Just amazing. Doesn't get any better than this. Big beautiful price action. Yep, there you go. Wow, we got one takeaway from that rejection block. This is something. This is legit turned into an Asia session. But yeah, if it's your first time watching me, I don't blame you if you decide to head out, but I thank you for stopping by. Sometimes it's just out of our control when we get this slow PA like this. But like I said, to make up for it for slow PA, I will be streaming free again tomorrow. Hopefully we get a better, some more volume than this, because this is just, it sucks to sit through stuff like this. It really does. So we'll be back tomorrow. Oh boy, we're coming back up again. 5 minute looks really crazy now. 15 minutes, so as 8 minutes, there's plenty of time for it to come right back down and hold 50 still. That's what this was. So we're trying to come back up. At this point, there we can't catch a trade to get up here, so we're just gonna have to wait and see if we can close above it again. Kind of right back where we started. Got to look for a close above this and a retracement back to it, and then try the long then. But if you did hold through all that, congrats to you, because you do have diamond hands, and you should be very proud. Just didn't hit where I wanted it to. But there's the equal highs finally. Let's see if it's going to be a sweep. Because if it's a sweep, we're going to come right back down. Noodle hands. To be honest, I mean, you shouldn't be mad or upset even if you did move to break even and get stop break even there, because we just, that took way too long. We shouldn't have sat there that long. But ES finally completing its dealing range play, hit 50, go back to the top of the dealing range. NQ did give us a decent close above that high. Let me see if the 5 minute. Okay, yeah, nice. We might get a 5 minute close up here too. Hopefully we're ready to break out of this. Now, if we come back down and do anything like close beneath this candle, That's not going to be good because it means this right here is still a sweep. If we were to close back beneath this 252 candle, you do not want to see that if you're bullish. And I still want to be bullish. $55 for the 5 minute to try to close up here. $15 left. Oh, you're still in on evals? Nice. Nice, Timo. Or Timo. I think I'm saying it right. I hope I am. Ooh, a duck race. I wasn't informed that we would have a duck race today for PM. I don't think we have an account to give away. Let's see. The 5 minute. Okay, the 5 minute closed right on it. But either way, this should be what we're doing because, this should try to become a new FVG anyways. So we might just find ourselves somewhere up here because we should be ready to go. I still would try to take a long though if we kind of dip back down in here somewhere. Yes, it's kind of doing the same thing now. We're trying to move. Yep, a close above that would be pretty nice. We almost did it right there. Really, we should be trying to inverse this 5 minute right now on this candle. Okay, looks like we're trying to get a little burst of speed here, probably just to get to that next 5 minute gap. Don't see any good entry though. The last good entry or try at an entry was probably that FVG. But not something that I would take, but it did end up playing out. I still think this is pretty sloppy PA though. Definitely not easy to trade this. 57 seconds left to see if we can inverse this 5-minute gap. So what I'd like to see here is something like an IO Fed. Basically the same exact thing what happened here. We swept that ITL. Of course, we didn't really sweep it. We kind of dipped down a little bit further. But I want to see the clean version this time for sure. Because now we have the new 5-minute gap. Hopefully we can get a little sweep there, maybe even tap 50. Basically the same exact thing as what we just were about to get before, but except this time hopefully it actually happens a lot faster. Let me actually remove the 5-minute gaps. Don't really need that. Still keeping an eye out on my other screen though to see if we inverse this 5-minute. But we're on the next candle now, so we definitely could dip the pack down for that. If not, it just tells you how bullish we really are. Looks like we don't want to dip down at all. Yep. Wow, yes, missed the high. Kind of looks like we're not going to come back down. Because the 5-minute looks like it really wants to try to inverse this gap right now. It is 3 o'clock as well. Maybe we will come back down. Remember, the ideal long is if we come back for this ITL out here, this 254 candle. That would be the best long it could possibly take in this exact setup. I'm not really interested if this becomes a sweep because it's still kind of too high. But we might just be so bullish to the point we may not even come back down. It's just kind of a dream if we can come back to here. We don't want to come back. $5 minute is about to get the inverse though in 20 seconds, it looks like. Okay, we did just get the 5 minute inverse. It's looking like we're just gonna keep pumping here. So may not get the entry, unfortunately. Shorting this? No, no. I think we're still trying to get up to this 1027 gap up here. It's just that it's not giving me the long entries that I want. That's the problem. That is the problem. But like I said, guys, since today was kind of a bust for PM, we're gonna come back tomorrow and do another free stream. Hopefully with some better PA. All we can do is hope for this to be a sweep if we come down to it. It looks like we're trying to now. We swept out the equal lows. This could actually give us a soup here. If we don't really want to come back for 50, this could be a soup. We might just come back up. If not, though, then we could come back for the entry that I want. Looks like we're trying to pop back up. maybe. I'm also watching the 5 minute here because it looks like we might be trying to get an OB, a bearish one. See if that's going to be the case. If we pop back up and get like a close above the 307 1 minute candle here, we're probably just going to end up sweeping the high again. Okay, the 5 minute got a bearish OB. We might come down for this after all. Still no close beneath the actual equal lows that we had though. PA coming from Timu. Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice if we can get down there, Chef. Bring up the 5 minute FEGs again since now there's only one. But the fact that we haven't closed through this yet means we still could pop up. We're just not moving very fast. Okay, we closed through there. Let's see if we can dip down, get to that low. Okay, there's the low being swept. Now all we need is the bounce. I don't think we hit 50 though. Now we probably did. Yeah, we did now. So ITL was right at 50. Let's see if we can get something like an OB to back to the upside here. If we do, then that is the long. Almost got it. The 30-second there. The 1 minute looks like it's trying to get it. It might be time to log in. If we can get the OB here, that's the play. Still no OB. Wow. About to get the 1 minute OB. My entry here is going to be right at 23,029 with a stop on the low that we just had, as long as we get the OB here. Okay, we got it. So trying the entry limit order there. Stop's going to be at 22. We should be able to take this all the way up to 2349, 23,049. If we end up hitting this high up here first, then I'm canceling the order because it's not going to be anything good. Five-minute IO Fed. Actually, I'm going to cancel it now because we may not even close above this. I canceled the limit order just so everybody knows. The reason why is because we actually didn't get the close above this 11 or this 311 candle. It is something like a 6-point stop to try to make 20 points 3R. The potential is there. It's just I don't like the volume. We're kind of moving slow still. Really need to see a close up here before I enter, since we didn't tap the OB immediately there. So the next 20 seconds, I'd like to see this get closed above. Okay, not the strongest close there, but I mean, just the reaction off that ITL is not a bad reaction at all. We end up getting a new manipulation leg, and you can see -2 is up there, -1 being just above the internal swing high there. Still could try this OB. I'm gonna try the OB. So entry's at 29. Stop's gonna be at 22. Because we did get the SMR. It's about a 7-point stop. Okay, we're tagged in. See what happens. I'm gonna move it to break even if we can hit this high at 35, because that would be already 1-to-1. And that way it's a free trade. All right, so we hit the high. It's a free trade now. Pretty nice reaction off that OB. You could absolutely make this your TP at 41, because that is about like, I think 12 points, something like that. Yeah, 12 points at the internal high. But remember, I want to see it go up to that next 5-minute gap. So that's what I'm trying to aim for here. So, but just be fully aware you can TP at this internal high. There's nothing wrong with that. Because we already got the good entry. It's about locking in the money at that point. And I'll tell you right now, if we can't close above this internal high on the first try, I'm going to start trailing very aggressively. just to let you guys know. Okay, so there's the internal high. We want to see it keep going now. Let me bring up that 5-minute gap, make sure we haven't hit it. All right, so my TP is set at 49 because we did close above it on the first try, so I'm going to keep it at break even. But we have a chance to get up to this 5-minute gap from the 1-minute OB as the entry. But type 1 if you're in this right now, because it's our only trade. On YouTube too, type 1 if you're in this. My bad, I haven't been looking at the YouTube chat in a while. Oh, nice, you guys are in? Okay, good. It's looking like we have enough momentum to get up there. Remember, the TP is set at 49, so 23,049. And it's going to be something like 20 points. Yeah, 21 point or 20 points from the entry, which is a 3.3R trade if we can get it, or a 3R. Should be able to get it here, hopefully. Nice, there we go. Well, there you go, guys. It's 3R trade, 3.2R, and basically a snipe. We got in right on the last dip and rode it all the way up with no pullback, no drawdown, just straight up. There you go. Congrats if you took that. As you can see, there's the executions. What's up, E&E Motors? What's up, Eli? But yeah, guys, let's break down why I was willing to enter this trade, because it's very important to know the why. It's not sure it's cool that we made the money and we won, but it's far more important to know the reason why. So let's talk about it. So we had pushed up after chopping for like 40 minutes. We closed above this high, creating a new dealing range, which is from this low up to this high, which creates a dealing range. We come back to 50, and it really helps because 50% lines up with this little ITL. And if you're not familiar, an ITL is simply just a low inside of a fair value gap. So we had a 1-minute ITL. And from this ITL and 50% tap, we get a very strong reaction. You know, we sweep it, we come back up, we close back up here. As soon as we made the OB here, I was looking to enter, but then I said, you know what, let me just wait until we actually get the CISD, which is, you know, a smart money reversal, market structure shift, breaker structure, whatever you want to call it. It happened right here. We closed above there, and I said, you know what, let me put the limit there because we got everything we need now. Trust the model, you know, trust what you're seeing. And you take the entry right on the 1-minute OB, and we get a nice ride up for 20 points. The 3.2R trade. Oh yeah, we don't use that garbage options. I am the indicator. No need for it. But yeah, guys, that's probably going to be my one and done for the stream, unless we see something really good for 350 for the macro. But we didn't quite make it to that 1027 gap on the 1-minute, but at least we hit -2. That's also a good example of how you can use standard deviation to your advantage. We basically just targeted -2 for the final run up to it. So that was pretty cool. But that's what patience gets you guys. I hope that should, if that teaches you anything, it should be about patience, because I almost entered in here, didn't hit my key level, so no trade, and then we finally wait for it to actually give us a proper entry, and you can see the result. When you wait for your actual key level to get hit, good things happen. Never settle. Never. So now I still think we're going to try to get up to this, the 1 minute gap. We still haven't hit it yet. I think there's a pretty decent chance we try to go for it here. And even if you didn't take the long, hopefully, like I said, that's why I explained it. So next time, if you see that happen again, you'll feel more comfortable trying it. Or even if it's a demo or eval, whatever the case may be. Still moving a little slow here, but we are kind of getting into the final stretch of PM. Tap the breaker and went. Yep. You know you're bullish, but trying to get the reasoning of longing in premium based on the 15-minute range. Help you understand. So yeah, that's a good question, Bamtech, because it can be confusing as to why I'm still looking for longs even though we're this high up in premium and all that kind of stuff. It's a valid thought. It makes complete sense. But the reason why I was even bullish is because let's start from the daily. If we expand all the way up to all-time highs, that's a pretty big move from where we started this morning. This morning we were somewhere down here, right? We expand all the way back up to all-time highs, but we don't close above it because on the lower time frame, like the 15-minute, we swept all-time high, this black line, and then we come all the way back down, right? The daily has to decide today if it wants to actually close somewhere up here, at least above previous day high and Monday's high. That's what today is all about. That's what PM session is about right now. The daily's trying to decide if it wants to close above Monday's high or previous day high. That's what today is about. And so once we break past 50%, because remember, we had 50 of the down move, I said, we're going to start there. We're going to try to catch the move up to 50, but we couldn't do it. Once we close through 50, I know, based on standard deviations, that if we have -2 up here in this unmitigated 5-minute, that's basically OTE of this bearish range. If we close through 50% of the dealing range, we tend to go to OTE. And up here is basically OTE. So yes, it is kind of scary. But like I said, if you wait for the best setup you could possibly get, and I even explained it before we even got it, how I was waiting for us to come back for that ITL sweep, that would be the ideal thing. Once you see it, don't hesitate, because that is not a coincidence. And once again, the market will reward you for being patient. Imagine if we had chased in here somewhere and we would have been stuck in a trade. Yes, it does end up playing out because the draw is right, but there's no fun in holding a trade. You're kind of stressing and sweating and all that kind of stuff. Whereas we get a clean in and out because of patience. That's what it boils down to. But if we're looking back in hindsight and all that kind of stuff, previous day high was the play. If you just long previous day high, that was absolutely the play. Because remember, I was saying how if, as long as we hold previous day high, we should still be bullish. We kind of dip beneath it. It almost made me think that we are going to hit this low, and then we still pop right back up. That definitely was the play looking back in hindsight. Now, once again, in live time, that was extremely hard to catch. You really just have to have conviction and confidence that this is absolutely going to hold. And maybe you had something like a 13 to 15 point stop. That's the only way you could have caught that truly if you just long previous day high. Once again, that's hindsight. I never called that out. But the idea is of what I was saying did play out. We held previous day high. We're still bullish. And now is the cutoff for the longs because now we're in OTE. So not only are we in premium, but we're in OTE, which means the shorts will be in control up here. So that was the cutoff for the longs, in my opinion. You do not want to enter any new longs until maybe the macro comes around and shows us something. And by macro, I mean the 350 macro for anyone who doesn't know. He said, I'm good at this. That's the reason. Well, yeah, it definitely helps to have experience. But at the end of the day, Kyle, like I said, it really boils down to you being aware of what your job is as a trader. Our job is not here to click the button. That's only 10% of our job. 90% of our job is sitting here watching and waiting. That's what trading is. That's what it really is. It's boring. It's painful to watch at times. But as long as you are aware that that is what you're supposed to be doing, instead of actively looking to catch every single, you know, little move and FOMO and over leveraging, all that kind of stuff, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. That's how you lose accounts. We thought our job was to help prop firm owners get their second Lambo. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, BAMTech, it kind of helps having standard deviation because, like I said, that's kind of the main reason why I knew to keep looking for longs because I was looking for us to hit -2. But even without it, you could, just as a general rule of thumb, whenever we blow past 50 or eventually just get past 50, we're going to try to reach for OTE. And especially given the context, this gap is unmitigated on the 5 minute. It's extremely, it's extremely obvious gap. It's absolutely going to get filled, at least just one tap. It's just so obvious. Yep, no problem, BMAC. But if you're new here, we do try to provide this level of education. Of course, it's nice to catch wins and all that, but the education is the most important part because you got to know how to do this stuff on your own. So if you're new here, we do try to do this level of education every single day in the jungle, and we do 10 streams per week, AM and PM, between me and Leopard. And Leopard caught a banger, an absolute banger this morning. And, PM wasn't so nice to us, but at least we were able to catch something too. That's all you can ask for. So at this point, I'm pretty much waiting for the macro because if you know PM session, a lot of the times we like to chop in the final 30 minutes until maybe the macro comes around. So at this point, I'm waiting for us to get to 350, and then I'll be able to tell what it is we're actually trying to reach for the macro. Oh yeah, I do also offer one-on-ones if you need personalized help with your trading. And I do mean personalized. I basically help you in any sort of aspect that you specifically need help in. It's not just a general thing. And all that information is available in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Oh, you're Perry. Okay. But yeah, I'm not really expecting too much now, guys. In my opinion, though, we're probably gonna come back for that entry where we entered at. Sweep that again, maybe even actually sweep out this low. I could actually see the macro trying to take us back to this SMT low. I think that'd be a nice little retracement slash like rebalance for this because we predominantly went up for this PM session. We basically went kind of up, just not super clean. And what better way to end the day than to stop out some of the people who are still trying to hold their longs for the end of the day? So I could see us coming back down a little bit for the macro. It really just depends on where we are when it starts. ES actually got pretty high up. ES is almost back up to the highs. I mean, you know, NQ is too, but ES is like right there. It's not that far for ES. It's pretty much halfway through the last gap in the leg for ES. Glad to hear it, Sweaty. Speaking of that, I need to send you the video from today. I'll send it over after stream. But yeah, guys, I'm not looking to take anything. I don't think you should either, especially not longs. Shorts should be in control here. It's just that realistically, we aren't going to sweep any major liquidity until the macro comes around. So that's why we're kind of like in a twilight zone type of thing, where you don't really want to enter anything except for a short, maybe, because chances are we won't get the longs until the macro starts, anyways, if we even get longs again. Did I record this entire session? Yes. I always record the sessions. So once again, guys, I do not recommend entering a new long position. It's probably not a good idea. Yep. Well, Chef, you still got the macro. The macro could give us one last play. We still do have the macro. It's in 13 minutes. But I do hope everyone in here is green because, like I said, between me and Leopard, you should be pretty green today, I feel like. Nice. So we're kind of just ranging here, you know, back and forth, up and down, up and down. Like I said, this is kind of what we usually do for PM session right before the macro. It's nothing uncommon. But you should not be trying to take a trade in here. It's not smart. See the 5 minute. 5 minute looks a little 50-50 to me. The 15 Oh, we actually got the 15-minute inverse. Not the greatest inverse, though. Definitely not one you should actually enter off of. But we did get it. And the 1 hour, it looks like it's trying to recover half the move. And remember, guys, we aren't, it's not that we're exactly trying to get all the way back up to high of day. The entire purpose of this up move, remember, guys, is because the daily is going to try and see if it wants to close above Monday's high and at the very bare minimum previous day high. And we're way past previous day high, so what does that mean? It means that we're probably trying to close above Monday's high today. Even if we can't close above, all-time highs, which it seems like we probably won't. But realistically, we can expect to maybe see this Monday's high be closed above today. And it would lead us into a pretty bullish tomorrow, most likely. And then we could just target previous day high as the intraday target for tomorrow. So we'll see. Oh yeah, we got the BOGO sale too. I forgot to mention that. Thank you for that, Sweaty. If you are new, we are doing a deal for the jungle. You can get basically 2 months for the price of one. If you're interested in seeing us stream every single day, like I said, we do 10 streams per week. That's a lot of streams compared to some other people. And we provide education, we provide guidance, trade management advice, psychology advice, you name it. And not to mention, we have a great community of people that are here to help you as well. And also very real people that are, people that just started trading are getting payouts. And we just got a couple people who got some payouts yesterday. I believe it was Quincy and Ron. Who was it yesterday? I know it was Quincy for sure. Who was the second person? Am I gonna post it? Um, I think it posts automatically, to be honest. I'll probably leave it up for like about a week and then just clip it up. But I'll definitely post the trade that we took. ES better get going. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I forgot to check where ES is in terms of the daily. Yep. You're right, Mike. It does have some ways to go. It's got to be a really bullish 350. 6 months for the price of three. Um, that we do not have a deal for, unfortunately, right now, BMAC. But Leopard's in here. Maybe Leopard can pull you some strings. Oh yeah, we got duck races and giveaways as well in the jungle for our premium members as well. Of course, we do some of them for free, like today. But we also do more of them inside of for our premium members. You guys can see we're just completely ranging until the macro starts. That's exactly why you don't want to enter anything in here. It's just, you're just rolling the dice if you take a trade right now. What's my bias? I want to be bullish, Emilio. But the thing is, bullish to where? I could definitely see this high being swept, but to be completely honest, I think it's going to be a bit far-fetched to say that we just are going to inverse this massive 1 minute gap. If we went down, though, I could really see this SMT low getting swept. I could definitely see that for a nice retracement move. And of course, the purpose of that would also be to stop out anyone who's still long, trying to catch, a banger play, so to speak. You got to stop some of those people out if we went down. So I prefer we go up, though, for several reasons, because I'd like to see NQ close above Monday's high. I'd like to see if ES could do it too. And like Mike just mentioned, ES does have to go pretty fast up to do it. So if ES is going to try to be bullish, we will absolutely be able to tell. Because it's going to be a pretty fat candle off rip. Bitcoin's at all-time highs, really? Like just now? Geez. Let's see. Oh, wow. It definitely is. Wow. Oh, wow. It's close. I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe I'm on the futures one. I think I am on the futures one. Let me switch to actual Bitcoin. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, we're still not at all-time highs. We're close, though. Yeah, heading there, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, I want to see XRP because I was mentioning XRP at the beginning of the week. I forgot to even check on it. I was saying XRP looks super good. Yeah. Yep, I was looking at this high too. We're almost there. Did a little bit of chopping though, but we're still basically going up. XRP looks really good in my opinion though. Like if we close above this high for XRP, it's almost like guaranteed we'll get to the major swing. And then if we close above that, it's like we're in the territory of all-time highs and all that. Just saying, I think XRP has a lot of potential. And I don't even trade crypto really. Yep, I agree, Marshall. Then you told everyone to buy at 60. Let me go back to it. Wow. Wow. Yo. You told everybody to buy at 0.60? That's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. That's a great call, Marshall. Jeez. For those of you who are on YouTube, we got one of our premium members in chat was saying he alerted for people to try to long XRP when it was at 0.60 or 0.06 or 0.6. I don't know why I keep on saying the point before it, but he basically alerted along down here. It's pretty crazy. But we got 3 more minutes to the macro. Should be pretty interesting. NQ looks more like a wild card to me because, like I said, guys, we could easily take this high. No question. It's just a matter of are we going to actually inverse the gap? I couldn't tell you all that. But if we went down, I could tell you a bit better where we would go because we have lots of targets to the downside. Not too many targets to the upside, though. It just depends on what we do right out the start. Coin on the 4 hour. We got 2 minutes left. Let's see. Yeah, it looks pretty good to go back up to this high. Is that all-time highs for it? Looks like it might be. Yeah. Oh, 420. Okay. Just can't see it. But it does look good enough to try to get up to that. 382. I never traded Coinbase before. GameStop 4 hour. I gotta make it quick. Oof. GameStop doesn't look too good. If I was this to me looks like no man's land for GameStop because it's a bearish gap and then we're kind of like bouncing off of a rejection block and all that. I don't know about GameStop. Looks a little 50-50. But anyways, we got the macro here in less than 20 seconds. It looks like the first thing we're going to do is probably try to get to that high up there. So we will see. I would not be surprised if we just absolutely teleport up to this high like really quick. Doesn't mean you should take a trade off of it. In my opinion, like I said, the longs should be kind of at the cutoff. Wow, like I said, teleport. There we go. But there's the 1027 gap. That was absolutely the final TP for the longs. This bearish 1027 gap on the 1 minute. Very strong reaction there. You can see. That's what I was trying to say earlier, that we just probably not going to inverse that. Might just sweep this. But the thing is, if you know you know that this is going to be a bad 350 because we got a doji. So if you're new here, basically whenever we get a doji like candle, actually the 1 minute's not really a doji. Never mind, scratch that. Scratch that. But this actually could go down to this low, this one here, and then the SMT low at 2300 if we're lucky. What was that, 54 leopard? So if we close through this low, should lead to get it. It should lead to us getting down to this one at 23. And if we close through 23, it depends on how much time left we have in the day, truly. A liquidity void, okay. So I don't really recommend entering anything here, guys, to be completely honest. I really, because the thing is, if we were really bullish, like I said, the ES would have, it would have shot straight up. If ES isn't willing to go up, then NQ isn't either, because ES is the one that actually has further way to go to close above the daily Monday's high, right? It's got to get way up there. That's 12 points for ES, which is kind of a lot, especially in the span of 10 minutes. On NQ does not have to do anything else today. We are already above Monday's high on ES. I mean on NQ. We're already above it right now. We don't have to do anything else today, which is why you don't really want to force it here. So if you're nice and green today, just go ahead and log out, and we'll just watch the last couple minutes here. But I do not recommend taking anything because chances are we're not doing anything in accordance to the daily, so why take a trade? It's just going to be a scalp anyways. I don't even see a good short here. I'd be looking for this 30-second gap up here, not even the 1 minute. I guess it's technically the 1 minute, but wow, Steve, okay. Yeah, something like that. Something like that, sweaty. Yeah, let him know, Marshall. Let him know it's different now. You tell him. All right, so there's the internal ITL. We still got the swing low, which is also an ITL. It's a 5 minute ITL. But this is already a bust of a macro, guys. If you're unfamiliar with the 350 macro, its job is to take us to external liquidity. And all that simply means is that it's going to try to take us to whatever higher time frame liquidity that we have. And right now, we've had kind of like a slow grind up. All the liquidity is beneath us. And if all the liquidity is beneath us, but we're not really moving, it's a bust, unfortunately. Oh, nice, Marshall, nice. Very nice. Yep, bad macro. ES, wait, let me mark out the daily high for ES. basically has to go back to high of day. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, if we get a nice candle like this, like pumping straight through the this purple box here on ES, there is a slim chance that it gets up to here by 4 o'clock. Very slim chance, but it's possible. NQ still looks like it's going to do nothing to me. It looks like we're just going to move up, hit this high, probably sweep it, and then that's going to be it for the day. But ES has a legitimate chance if it can close outside of here. Absolutely, it does. Still waiting on that close. Can't get the close outside, nothing's going to happen. Wow. Okay, ES did get a decent candle close outside of it. NQ looks like it's kind of playing around. I'm not trying to hit this high, but we already know the long should be done anyways. Like I said, guys, this is kind of a bust of a macro. You do not want to trade this right now. That's why I'm not calling out anything on purpose right now. If you're taking trades, it's 100% up to you. There's a reason why I never said to take the inverse or take the short or take the long or anything here, because I don't think you should be taking anything. But what a great day it was today. This was actually one of the better PA days that we've had. Of course, PM wasn't all that great, but AM was amazing in my opinion. I thought AM was fantastic. Three more minutes left. We're basically at the end of the stream, guys. I thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully all of you are green. Hopefully you're able to take that one trade that we took. And more importantly, hopefully you learned something, even if it's about patience or entries or, premium discount, OTE, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully you learned something, because if you want to make a career out of this, you have to stay patient. Remember, if there's one thing you learn, if there's one thing you take away from any of this, it's that 90% of our job is sitting and watching, 10% is clicking a button. Remember that. Looks like NQ is trying to make it up to that high after all here. It does need more energy. ES definitely isn't going to get to Monday's high, though. That's for sure. 359. And we haven't done anything. This macro is a bust. But yeah, guys, it is 4 o'clock. I thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully everyone had a great day today. And like I said, I'm still down to do a free stream tomorrow, because today was kind of still a bust. Even though we did catch a trade, I'm still open to doing a free stream tomorrow because hopefully we'll still get some better PA than this. So I hope to see you all tomorrow, because we'll have a free PM stream again tomorrow. And for the ones on YouTube, it's also going to be free for you as well. So I hope to see you again tomorrow if you're out there watching. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Hopefully everyone is green, like I said. Hopefully you all stay safe. Have a great rest of your day. And we hope to see you again tomorrow. And like I said, if you're looking for a community of traders who have the same goals as you, just want to, be profitable, want to make this into a career, want to make this into something that lasts, feel free to click the links in the description, because we are just that. We are a community that is here to help each other and, learn some cool things along the way. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, and peace.